think what's happened to my video? I don't know what's happened. Okay.
Well, hello everybody, all the viewers out there. This is a discussions among English spoken legends who lives here in Chiangmai, and we're going to be spending approximately about 2 hours talking about topics which is quite important for our well-being of the environment and everything else that is good for us. Okay. Now my name is Bella, and I'm very honored to be here with four of my friends. Okay. First of all, I'd like to introduce you to all these friends who are going to be joining us on the talk. First, we're going to start with Kun Corey. Corey Croymans, สวัสดีค่ะ And next we have Kun Shane Rochfort.
สวัสดีครับ
Shane, want to say hello? Oh, you check the voice. Okay. Now we got Paul Sugar.
สวัสดีครับ Hello.
And we also have Kanji.
สวัสดีครับ I'm gonna give you one hand because my other hand is holding the phone. So.
เสียงมันไม่ดีเนาะนิดหน่อยค่ะ Okay, so we're here to share some of our thoughts and our concerns about the environment, and I'd like to interview. It's a bit more difficult with the Zoom technique like this, so we're going to have to do it quite like individual, giving times for each of you, maybe for the first and second and the third questions, like maybe each of you can talk like about 5 or 10 minutes or something like that. Okay, so I'll let you know when the time is up and all that. Maybe I'd like to start with Corey. Okay. All right, Corey, can you say hi so that the camera can be pointing at you? Corey,
yes,
hello. Yes.
Sawadika, Sawadika.
Right. Okay. Corey, please tell us. Yeah. Is it okay now?
Just a minute. Oh no, come on.
Well, we can see and hear you fine though.
Okay,
can you hear us?
I don't need to see myself. I can hear you well. So we don't need to do anything.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. So let me ask you, Corey, how long have you been living in Chiang Mai for?
21 years.
21 years. And of course, you have seen a whole lot of changes in the environment ever since you start coming to live in Chiang Mai until now.
Yes.
What sort of difference you see dramatically or whatever? How do you feel about the past and then now?
Yes. Well, on paper, and for me, Chiang Mai always looked like a dream destination because the season is cooler. We have a cold season, which is very comfortable. The altitude is nice, around 400 meters. The living costs are reasonable. The infrastructure is good. The lifestyle is easygoing, especially compared to Bangkok, where I came from. And the culture and nature have such a wonderful energy, which was really the first thing that attracted me. Why the energy? Because there are lots of trees. And so during the past 21 years, I have planted thousands of trees, but I've also seen thousands of trees disappear. And this is a pity. So dream, yes, Chiang Mai has been my dream. The reality is a little bit different. Like in every paradise, you may have some hidden surprises, which you don't see as a tourist. But these surprises are quite minor compared to the great benefits. Does that answer your question?
ให้บอกว่าอะไรนะคะให้ก่อนค่ะค่ะ we need all of you to turn on the video button so that we can see you ก็เห็นอยู่แล้วหรือเปล่าไม่เห็นนะคะค่ะใคร Corey เหรอค่ะ oh Corey please you need to turn on your video button so we can see you
Yes, we're trying.
yeah that's working now
Better?
okay
Okay.
oh, yeah much better okay all right so that was the first question maybe we'll use the same question for Shane also Shane how long have you lived in Chiang Mai for and tell us the difference that you see from the beginning that you come to live in Chiang Mai until now please
Okay, I've been in Chiang Mai for nearly 10 years, or just over 10 years. And basically, I spent 3 years in Hang Dong, so I wasn't really into Chiang Mai all that much. But I have seen, since I moved into Chiang Mai, a whole lot of development going on, and a large number of tourists, especially other Asian tourists, coming to enjoy Chiang Mai. And Chiang Mai is a fantastic place, so it's always attracting many people from many places. So I love Chiang Mai, and I chose Chiang Mai because it's just a casual lifestyle, very easygoing with most things, and really great place for expats and for locals as well. So.
can you hear me hello
Yeah.
yes what about now what
About now, yeah, it's a little bit sad to see because Chiang Mai, normally when you walk the streets, you see lots and lots of tourists around. So this COVID season and the burning season this year have been very disappointing to see not as many tourists around enjoying Chiang Mai like before.
Oh, okay all right so we're just gonna go on to talk to Paul with the same questions. Yes, Paul, how long have you lived in Chiang Mai for?
Hi, thanks
Yeah,
Bella.
yeah.
I've lived in Chiang Mai for 21 years.
21 years, okay.
Yeah, Chiang Mai has changed in some ways, like very much in that time. Like for example, it felt like a very small place. It felt quite far removed from the world, from the wider world when I first came here. For example, if you drove to the top of Doi Suthep and looked out, you saw mainly rice fields and then a small city. And now it looks, like a lot of mubans and sort of inhabited areas and less rice fields, this kind of thing. Obviously, the city's been built up a lot. In terms like environment, yeah. So green spaces have been cut back on the flatlands. I always remember some burning. It wasn't like an issue that caught as much attention. When I first came, we didn't have like all of this social media, and so it seemed like it's like a lot of the issues like air pollution, and especially with Chiang Mai being considered such a small and remote place, not a big part of the international community. There were less. It was just a lot less tourists and a lot less people living here. So the sort of cosmopolitanism of Chiang Mai has increased. The number of people that visit here is increased, and the attention that events like the air pollution gets from around the world and from sort of different segments of the community living here is a lot greater. Of course, like some years the burning, lately it does seem like the burning's gotten worse, but I do also remember quite bad years a long time ago as well.
Really?
Yeah. In my memory, I mean, perhaps I remember some. It just wasn't as often. But I do remember, because I would drive up to Chiang Rai a lot, and getting up towards the Burmese border. I can remember 15 years ago, it would be the similar scenes that you can see now. You know, I'd be driving through the mountains, especially up towards Mefalawang, and sometimes you would hardly be able to see all the mountains, the whole route. You know, the whole route, apart from in the higher areas. I remember a lot of smoke even back then, but certainly like now there's just so much more sensitivity to it, and it's definitely become more frequent, and I feel like there's probably like a lot more pressure on the forests and the environment than there used to be.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Now we're going to turn that same question to Kanchi. Kanchi, now you were born here, weren't you, in Thailand? This is your birth, yeah.
I was born and raised right here. This is my home city, hometown, CNX, represented. As always, as people know who I am, this is my town. And so,
how long has it been?
I am 24, about to be 25. I am probably the youngest out of everybody here.
Yes, you are.
Easy.
You're representing the young generation. Yes. So tell us a bit about how you remember Chiang Mai when you were young and now.
I live right next to you, you know. I live in the same neighborhood as you. So I remember everything so clearly, where my street used to just be trees, you know, where it used to just be trees. And now you can see, you know, condos and, you know, that are like 8 stories, 10 stories, maybe not 10, but 8, like really tall stories. And you don't see those trees anymore. The trees are gone, and you know, the place is being developed. And, you know, that is just comes with, you know, urban sprawl. And I understand that a lot of people are moving to the city, and because, you know, there's opportunities and there's education and all this stuff. And I understand that, but I feel that, like, you know, something is lost, you know, with it, you know, that we should have implemented some measures to keep these green spaces here, you know, to not just remove them, but to also like acknowledge that these places are needed in you know, to every concrete space should be at least one area that should be green, you know, that's not. And anyway, but, you know, that's in my neighborhood. I mean, like, you know, I remember your garden was full of trees, you know. I remember your garden was full of.
Still trying to keep some.
I know. I understand. You know, you have a big family, and, you know, you gotta look after all of them, you know. And I know that you're trying to, you know, grow your own trees and everything in there, and, you know, you do a big part. And so, but yeah, so what I've seen is that, you know, there's more highways, there's more, you know, more cars, because a lot of people moved in, and a lot of, you know, you see these gated communities being built upon these rice fields, and this is what I see today, you know, that there's a lot more, you know, there's more schools, since the population is growing, this is just how it's changing. And you can see more skyscrapers, more, you know, there's more buildings, you know. And yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how, you know, in the end, are we gonna keep on growing, or are we gonna start like putting measures to, you know, combat these things. I'm not sure. You know, this is up to the city of Chiang Mai, you know, and for us to do something.
Yeah, right. Oh, thank you, Kanchi. It seems like all of us sort of feel the same way, that somehow the city has grown into something that is kind of hard to control, or we can say to the point that we wish we could go back a little bit to the time when we started, huh? Anyway, but the organization who responsible for this talk is, I forgot to tell you, this is a breast council. Our duty is to do everything we can in order to bring a better air for the population of Chiang Mai. Okay, so mainly our duty is to put more tree, plant more green areas in Chiang Mai. Okay, the zero waste, and also the new ways of transportation, which is a green ways of using transportation in Chiang Mai, which is bus or bicycle. That we'll get back to Kanji about that for sure. But anyway, all of us has pretty much suffered the haze scenario and the PM 2.5 that has been affecting us for almost more than 13 years already. You know, it was a bit embarrassed for Chiang Mai to have the most hazardous city in the world for quite a few days, hasn't it? Yeah. So I would like to ask all of you, how did you survive that time? Did you escape, or did you run away, go to some place, or did you stay on to, or how did you survive? We start with Corey. Can we go back to Corey again? Corey, how did you survive? Yeah, how did you survive the haze time?
Okay, how did we
pollution?
survive?
Yes, how did you survive?
First of all, we did not run away because our home is here and we feel at home here. We have 4 dogs and a big garden which need our attention. Why should we run away? So what did we do? We did small things which are not expensive, like we installed a small fountain in the garden close to the house with an aquarium pump. It cost about 4,000 bucks. Not expensive. We installed foggers around the house to settle the dust. Ampon made a fogger sprinkler system which covers a big area, like 5-6 square meters, which we can move around. We have planted about 6,000 trees.
Wow.
Yes, 6,000. You name it, we probably have it. That gives us a lot of shade. This has lowered the temperature by about 3 to 4 degrees. It makes a huge difference. When we go to town, we really suffer, and come home, you breathe. We collect rainwater. This is very important for me. We have big water tanks, which we made with the cement toilet rings, you know, very simple, 1 meter 20 diameter, 40 centimeter high. And we put about 10 rings, half in the ground, half above the ground. Because in the ground, the water stays cool, above ground, easy to circulate. Okay, so we collect rainwater from the roof. This means that during the rainy season, we are 100% self-sufficient in water. During the whole year, we are about 80% self-sufficient. But this means that we can use water to humidify the air.
Right.
And dust needs to settle. So you use foggers and sprinklers, the dust will settle. We would put also sprinklers on the roof, not foggers, sprinklers, 2 only. And so the roof is cooler because we use the sprinkler, and we recollect that water in our water tanks.
Cool. You have been very busy.
Very busy.
And you did all that yourself? You have helpers, of course.
Not by myself, of course. We have a lot of people to help us.
Wow.
The villagers find some of these changes a bit strange, but they get used to our unusual ways. Of course, we use what you may know now as
yes, you made the mask. Yes, I got one of those.
3-layer mask, which you can still breathe. And as we grow a lot of herbs, which we steam distillate into essential oils and essential waters, and we make formulas to put a drop in this mask, and you breathe very comfortably. This is how we survive. We have fans everywhere. I used to live in Malaysia 8 years, and there I learned to use fans, you know, ceiling fans, because they move the air. We made a small, what do you call this, for too long? Wind doors, and in the knock of the roof, the northern style. But the difference is that we can open and close them. We just put some shingles on there, and so you can open or close these small doors under the roof, and that helps. Most Thai houses have this, but you cannot. So we put mosquito net and then this door with Venetian blinds, and then just an ordinary rope, and we can pull either way to open or to close. Did you get that? I don't hear anything.
I think the connection's gone bad.
It sounds like it. My microphone is unmuted, it says. Why are you pressing? My video is also stopped.
Your video is okay, but now this stuff is one is allowed.
I'm sorry.
Did you get everything or not?
No, I think I might miss about like a minute or two of your talk.
Okay, the last thing I was talking about is about the small wind doors we made under the roof. So on just under the knock of the roof, we made the small doors, which many Thai houses have. But the difference is that our doors are made of Venetian blinds and we can open them. So we put the mosquito net and then the small door. And so if it's hot, we open. If it's cold during the cold season, we close.
Wow, that is so interesting. And so, how did you know about doing all that? I mean,
I was living in Malaysia before for 8 years.
The experience.
And there, in Kuala Lumpur, Kuala Lumpur is in a valley, and there is very little wind. So you learn to use fans.
I see.
And air circulation. So you create your own air circulation. And I saw all these little windows in the Thai houses just under the roof, but you couldn't open them. And so I asked our carpenter, can you just put some hinges on there so we can open them? And they found this strange, but they did it, and it works well. And it cost us just 2 hinges. That's all.
Wow. It seems like everything that you do is very environmental friendly, huh? That's amazing.
And not expensive.
And not expensive.
And
inexpensive. Yes, inexpensive. Good. Well done. Well done. All right. Maybe one of these days you can show us your house, how
sure.
All this great stuff. Okay. Well, maybe we'll move on to Shane. Shane, can you please tell us how you survived the haze time? So, or you stay indoor, turning air conditioning?
Actually, I don't use air conditioning at all, and just fresh air sometimes. But during the smoky season, I have to wear a mask. And what I did this year was bought a couple of air testers, and wherever I went, I had them, and I was checking the air quality on those. And most of the time it was not great air quality, so that was annoying. And also during the smoky season this year, I actually moved house, so I'm in another small room, but in a much quieter location in Chiang area, and it's very good. Just got lots of trees around it, and just very peaceful with lots of birds and stuff. But in general, a lot of this smoky season was spent indoors, and because of the COVID as well. So that was not good to have those two as a combined problem this year. But when I had to go out, wearing a proper mask as well. And our office over in near Promenade in Chai Satan area had very bad air quality. So we did some things in the office, got some air purifiers, and we did some testing with that. And but thankfully this year it was a little bit less than last year. And last year was just terrible when you had to go outside, trying to do anything, trying to get around town or that. So I really hope that with the Breathe Council, we're able to bring the quality of the air in Chiang Mai back to normal. a much
Yes,
better
I sure.
normal each year. So
Yes. We all dream to that, huh? Okay. Thank you, Jane. Kanji, tell us, how did you survive? Hello, are you sleeping?
No. I thought Paul was first before me, so I was kind of off guard. So yeah, usually, like Shane said, you know, it wasn't as bad, but it was you know, as usually if there's a smog outside, you know, it was like 400, 500, you know, in the city. And some days, like on really bad days, I live on a 12th floor of a condo, and like I can't see outside. You know, some days I can't see like the city anymore, and I only can see like you know, the terrace. and I try to stay, you know, because of COVID. Like you said, I didn't really go out, but I had a purifier in my room, and I'm very lucky that I can afford a purifier. And I know a lot of. I also represent a lot of my friends who are migrant workers or refugee community, and they can't afford a purifier. They can't have these access to things because, you know, you can't afford $6,000 out of your pocket. You know, if that's how you get paid less than that. You know, so I would say that I'm very lucky that I live in a sealed condo. You know, and I know other people that probably don't live in a sealed condo or a sealed house or like, you know, with proper windows closing or like with proper ventilators or can afford masks to buy every day, you know, like some people can't do that, you know? And so I'd say I survived fine. I mean, you know, I like to ride my bike every day, you know, I don't have. Well, I was going
to ask you that. Yeah. What about your usual means of transportation? Because I know you ride your bike around town a whole lot, but so during the smoky season, you don't come out at all, huh?
I mean, you know, we have to eat. You know, we all gotta eat. We all gotta do some errands. You know, and I have a special mask. You know, it's a 3M. You don't have to. It's not a disposable mask. I mean, there's a filter you can change in and out. So you only throw away the filter, and then you can replace it on and off, and you can see like how much air you breathe in because the filter will become black. And so I show everybody that knows me, you know. And that's real, you know, and so that's what like people every day breathe in, you know, in the city, and and anybody in the north, you know, like everybody here is affected by it. The whole state, the whole region, you know, it's not. So I feel that, you know, it is our collective nature to combat this together. You know, it should be a mandatory right that we should be able to breathe and not suffer.
I know. Yeah. It's a big question, isn't it? Yeah. All right, thank you, Kanchi. Move on to Paul. Paul, can you tell us a bit about how you survived the haze?
Well, I've always stayed here, so I think I've been here for 21, you know, hot seasons. I've never left. Like I've always felt like, I've always felt like everyone can't leave. So it's a little bit. You know, some people do leave, and I don't have any problem with people who leave, especially those who have who are especially sensitive to the smoke. I have some friends that really have a hard time, and you know are in danger of getting really sick. But I've always felt like, you know, it's not enough just to run away when everybody else can't. Yeah, for many years now, I've been wearing like masks, and not just in the smoky season. Like I've learned, you know, mainly from people like Kanji, I've learned to wear a mask in the traffic, because the traffic is like the experience of getting around town is much worse than it used to be. Even though like before, you know, there's always been a lot of trucks here, and there's always been a lot of, in the past, there were like more two-stroke motorbikes, so that some of those were worse. But the traffic is a lot more now than it used to be. And so you often find yourself like in heavier traffic. And yeah, it's like, that bothers me like the whole year round, not just in the burning season, that you're always behind like red trucks and like, you know, especially a lot of like heavy polluting diesel engines. So, yeah, but as far as like where I live in, can you hear me still?
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
It's a bit,
I mean, I live in a quiet part of town on the 5th floor of an apartment building. This is the first year ever that I have had an air purifier in my room, and that's helped a lot. Huge amount. Again, I feel bad that they're expensive and not everybody can afford them. They've become cheaper. Like the one I have was
yes, definitely. Yeah, this year has been cheaper. I can afford one now too. Yeah.
Right. I couldn't afford one in the past. Like this year, it was like less than 4,000 baht, and it means that I don't have headaches because I can sleep in clean air. So I used to, like, for many years in the bad burning seasons, I would have a headache a lot, you know, and that's brain damage. That's the PM 2.5 flowing through the blood in my brain and doing damage. Really, you know, I've researched this quite a bit. Like I went with the car country and anti-car country club that me and Kanji were sort of like involved in. We did some research, and this pollution, it really messes with your health, and I felt it like really badly. So this year it's been nice to be able to at least sleep in clean air. I've been and air purifiers can help with that. I wish everybody could like get one, you know, for free or they're even cheaper. But it's not an overall solution, you know, because not everybody lives in a sealed room. So it's not really it's not a solution for everybody.
I mean, you just don't just have to have the purifier. You need to have the air conditioner too, huh? It works together. Yeah. Thank you. We'll come back to Corey and maybe the rest of you also for the same questions. I'd like to ask you for the past burning scenario that we had, especially this year where Suthep Mountain was burned drastically, like so many days, and it was like actually horrifying from downtown. Huh? Was there anything that you do, or any volunteer things that you ask that you do to help, so that we can get over that time of the burning? Starting with Corey.
Yes.
Yeah.
We grow a lot of Thai herbs, and we steam distillate them into essential oils and essential waters.
Corey, I'm sorry, Corey. You need to turn on the video button again.
I need to turn on the video.
Yes, so that we can have the visual view. Okay. Oh yes, thank you.
All right. So we grow a lot of Thai herbs, and one example that most people will know is aloe vera. So we steam distillate this into essential oils and essential water. And the essential water we can use to bring the cooling power of aloe vera to our body on the outside and on the inside. Very simple. On the outside you spray, on the inside you drink. Yes. Another herb which is mulberry, also very cooling and also to help treat the eyes. So we make eye lotion, which we call cooling eye spa lotion. And we put one drop in our eyes and you feel immediately something changes, and you feel you can see better, clearer, because all this dust settles everywhere, even with all the systems, the water systems that we use. So we have used that a lot. I still use it because it feels comfortable, and I've noticed that my eyesight has improved. I sleep easier, probably because my eyes are cooler. It just feels good. Then these hydrosols, we can also use them to take a foot bath. So I said outside, spray, outside, foot bath, maybe 20 minutes, half an hour. You put some of these herbs in different forms. It doesn't have to be hydrosol. It can just be the fresh herb, which you pound, pour warm water on it, and put your feet in a bucket. Feels amazing. And you will sleep like a baby. Okay?
Yep. I also
what
know
else
that
did
you
we
have donated.
we drink a lot of water.
Corey?
Yes, we donated some ice bar lotions to the firefighters, and also the aloe vera lotion to cool their body down, as well as the mask.
Wow. You must have spent a whole lot of money making all those things, huh?
That's okay. It's also a lot of fun. It's really a lot of fun to make all this and to experience the benefits so quickly. Many people think aircon, yes, I like aircon. Fan, yes, I like fan. But to be able to influence your own body to handle the heat better, because I'm a Farang and I'm not a skinny Farang. So I carry this weight with me, and I need to cool my body down. And these are the ways of doing it.
Cool. Thank you, Corey. Yes.
Water. Drink a lot of water.
Well, you have been busy all the time, haven't you?
Fun.
Fun, she said. All right, move on to Shane. Shane, hello. Shane, are you still there?
Yes.
So was it anything special thing that you did, volunteering, helping the burning seasons and all that? Could you tell us about it?
Not specifically, but going up and doing anything with the firefighters and things like that. But I'm part of the expat club, and I know that they visited at least probably about 7 or 8 times, and they took food up there. They took a whole lot of supplies for the firefighters, and they also gave them a few meals as well.
Wow.
Some of the expat club, the president and the team, they also asked what else they could do, and they went, when they were up there, they saw that the firefighters didn't have any shoes or were just wearing flip-flops and other things like that. So I think they said they bought about 200 pairs of shoes and socks and other things like that. So the firefighters were very happy to see all that, and they really enjoyed when the expat club members were coming up and giving the things. But the other thing is, I was always trying to keep up and involved with what was going on with Save Chiangmai from Burning, the Ben's team and the work that he's doing up in the mountains, and very much involved with other friends who were also out giving supplies and donations to the firefighters. So
yes, but so you have been very active also.
Yeah,
the burning.
Sort of
Yes, good.
helping and connecting with people as well.
Bless your heart. Yes, thank you, Jane. Yeah, Kanji, you still there? Hello, Kanji.
I am here.
You heard the question.
Yes, you're asking what did I do?
Did you do anything at all? Yeah.
During this time, during this firefight season, there's an escalating war in my country, and so they asked me to do a lot of political cartoons for the situation, and I was working.
This is Burma, right?
This is Burma, yes. And so a lot of my time was spent indoors and drawing these things for these political cartoons for this situation on the other side. But I did see that a lot of my friends did go and help break the fires on the Doistep Mountain. I know that I know a lot of like CMU students who were also like getting money to fundraise for the firefighters, like Shane said, and I know that this was going on, and I know that people were doing something about it, and I was proud that Chiang Mai community was doing something about it,
exactly.
At least.
Yeah.
And but personally, me, like I wasn't personally involved in doing. I'm not gonna take no credit, I was doing something else. So, but I appreciate the community effort.
All right, thank you, Kanji. So move on to that, Paul. Paul.
Yes.
Yes, you have been a key person to our fundraising to help the breast cancer, fighting for the better air and all that. Can you tell the viewer a bit about how you feel about the whole thing?
How I feel about the whole thing. Well, I'm I'm really pleased to see groups like Save Chiang Mai from Burning and the Chiang Mai Breath Council. I'm really pleased to see this, and I feel like it's this kind of organization and sort of year-round, more serious commitment to solving the problem of burning that is going to help us in the long run. Because for quite a few years, people get quite upset about it just around the time of the burning season, and it sort of makes some headlines and then it disappears again. And yeah, I think that's, we haven't really gotten very far, but I feel quite hopeful now that some progress will be made. Like me myself, in the past, with you or with Ganji or with Boy, I've joined in, sort of fundraising. I haven't been doing as much as you, going out and creating fire breaks. I haven't been active in that kind of way. I've gone around to speak a little bit, because I did some research on the health effects of air pollution, and learned a lot of stuff about the health effects of traffic pollution, what different pollutants are in burning the forests and burning of fossil fuels in combustion engines, this kind of thing. So, and I've sort of gone to speak at different events about this in the past. But this year, I don't feel like I did very much. I don't. But,
Right. But wasn't it great that we can able to bring in many musicians in Chiang Mai to do the fundraising together, and they're all happily joining to give the best they can.
Yeah. Musicians in Chiang Mai as a community, always I love them. I love the musicians community here, and they're always willing to join in and give their time and help to fundraise and make the campaign help to make the campaign lively and fun.
Well, thank you, Paul. Coming back to Corey, we're going to start with the new questions. And I know that all of you have said one way or another doing some things that are promoting the better environment for our city. Can you please, all of you, then tell me a little bit about how you do your usual things that you do that that you can improve this environment of the city? Corey?
Okay. Well, first, I think there are many things we cannot do. We cannot control the weather, at least not yet. It's difficult to change habits of people after been using for hundreds of years, to stop these habits. It's hard to control the increasing population. This is something we cannot do. It's difficult to catch the forest burners, but maybe the army could help there. You may have seen the involvement of the army in Merim, where they helped to give food to the people who needed it. Maybe there are parts, battalions or groups, I don't remember the names, of army people who could patrol the forests in specific areas, and this way prevent the people from burning the forest. This can be a deterrent, but the fact is they need to be there. If there's nobody there, people get away with it easily. How can we motivate the people who are growing corn, for instance, to stop burning, to stop growing corn, to grow other crops that give them good income? This is a difficult point to consider. But was your question most effective solution for expatriates or most effective solution? If for expatriates, I would say move away. And this is what I hear many people are doing.
Sadly,
if it's for those people who want to stay here, I would say education is the best solution, both on Thai level and on expatriate level. I saw the video you posted where you talked to a gardener who was burning garden refuse, let's call it like this. Right. This is not a problem. This was not a problem 100 years ago because they didn't have plastic. Just burning some garden refuse is okay. But if there's plastic in it, and I saw that you explained this on the video, this is dangerous for the gardener himself, for his family, and for all the people that live around there, and for the future generations, because it goes inside their lungs, not just inside the air. And many people don't understand this. You have to we have to inform them that you do this, you harm yourself. Chiangmai has a very high incidence of lung problems. And in my opinion, this is because of the pollution that we create. We create this. So educate expatriates. Many expatriates just want to have a beautiful lawn and they want to kill all the weeds that are growing there. They don't realize how important these weeds are. These weeds have therapeutic benefits. I give you one weed that I've come to discover a few years ago, which helps against dengue fever. So simple, just make a tea with it and drink it. And if you catch dengue fever, you will recover very fast, okay? So educate the Thais, educate the expatriates. I'm thinking of one project that happened in Bangkok about 30 years ago with Esther of the Bangkok Bank family, Tapiset. I don't know if, Taviset. Yes, where the children were taught to separate the garbage. And they were teaching their parents and grandparents. And this program was incredibly successful. And I think this is how we can do this here too. Where the funds will come from, I don't know, but this is just an idea. The first thing people, expatriates need to learn, because I'm talking as an expatriate now, is that weeds are herbs, are medicine, and food, our food can be our medicine. We should not take medicine as food, but take food as medicine. This is the very first thing I learned when I came to Asia. So what we would suggest is, number one, enforce the burning bans in the villages, not just with expensive posters, but with paid area patrolling guards to spot burners, to spot burnings, to inform the relevant firefighters. Maybe the military can do this, maybe the police can do this, I don't know. Stop burning wood, of course. Don't burn wood. Don't burn leaves. Turn leaves into compost.
Right, there's so many
Give
alternatives
this
for that.
back to your garden. Give this compost back to your garden or sell it. Sell it to your neighbors. Stop burning the wood. There's this fabulous little biochar system. I used to think biochar is wonderful and we use it a lot, but you need to have a big container. No, now you have these small 60-liter containers for less than 1,000 baht. That's fantastic.
Yes.
Plant more trees. Start by planting more trees, as we did. We have planted trees for long-term benefits like teak and payung, coconut, but also for more short-term like mulberry, mango, longan, maca, moringa. You can get many of these trees at the forest department. You can get these seedlings for free free. You hear me? Free. You don't have to go to Tonpayong market. Plant more herbs. You don't need a whole big garden to plant herbs. Start with a pot. A pot of what? Peppermint, basil, oregano. You can plant some onions, some garlic. These are not difficult things. Stop cutting big trees. Big trees have fantastic energies. When you are sensitive to energies, you can feel this difference. You come into an area with big trees. It's amazing. What did we do to reduce the pollution? We did all this. And on top of it, we installed the focus, as I said. We installed a small fountain. We wear only cotton clothes. This is so simple. Cotton clothes, because it allows your body to breathe. And when your body can breathe, you will feel cooler. If you wear synthetic clothes, it sticks to your skin and it blocks your pores. Okay? The small fountain, I said already. Distillation, I said already. The spas, I said it. The rainwater, yes. And please drink water. Drink real water, not reverse osmosis water, which is dead. I am very serious about this. There's very good water in Chiang Mai. I am not paid by or a shareholder in water company, but really we need to drink at least 2 to 3 liters of good water every day. In this hot climate, you will feel that you will sleep better, your digestion will be better, and your poo will be better, and everything cleans from the inside and the outside.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you, so Corey.
You're welcome.
You're making all that sound so easy and simple.
It is. It is. These are small lifestyle changes. Oh, I forgot one more thing. Yes, drink water, but not cold.
Okay.
Not cold.
All right. Listen to Mama.
Bad things inside. Just more water, but not cold water, and you will feel. You get used to this easier than you think.
Yeah. Right. Thank you, Corey.
Okay.
Right. All right. To move on
Welcome,
to Shane.
Ella.
Yes, Shane. So the question was that you have been part of doing some activities that that are improving the environmental. Shane, you still there? Hello?
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your activities that what you've done for the city?
Okay, so I do something called Chiang Mai Clean City, and basically it's just me, but I'm trying to share just daily activities where people can go out and clean, pick up rubbish. Or take rubbish from where it is around the streets and get it into the system to be removed from our streets and up and taken away to either landfill or proper recycling and other things like that. So the Chiang Mai Clean City is basically there to encourage and promote everyone everywhere going and picking up trash and getting it off the streets and into where it should be. So that's one thing I do, and there's many byproducts from that. What happens is after you pick up maybe 10 pieces of trash or 50 pieces of trash or 100, your mindset changes, and you won't be just throwing trash wherever around the streets. So that's one of the things. And picking up trash, it's quite easy. Everyone can do it. And the other problem is Chiang Mai always has floods during rainy season. And why did they have floods during rainy season? Well, it's because of the sewage. Any rubbish goes from the streets into the drains, blocks the drains, and then we have flooding. So if we pick up the trash before it doesn't get to the drains, it doesn't go into the river, and it helps the whole ecosystem in that way. So that's one of the things I'm very passionate about. But in that, I also work with a lot of people, a lot of other groups, Chiang Mai Sustainability, the Chiang Mai Green Council. There's a lot of people, less plastic. Oakbourne Northgate had the Last Straw campaign. And so everyone who's in that space is doing amazing things. And another one of those guys are just a Chiang Mai person, but fairly new up here. He runs Wildside and the mountain biking. His name's Noah, and he's doing a lot of great stuff. And he has produced a line of bamboo or wooden teeth brush and other things like that, and straws, and they're available around town under the Leaf brand. So I get to connect with a lot of these guys at different events and different activities and just see what they're doing. And then I suggest to everyone to join what I call Clean Green Thailand. It's a Facebook group where people can promote their good activities or put see what's going on in other parts of Thailand. So that's Clean Green Thailand. And just a Facebook group where people can share ideas and tell others what's happening. So
awesome.
I'm actually, I want my idea to be Chiang Mai first, but all over Thailand as well. So not just, I've been to many other provinces and I see the exact same problems that are in Chiang Mai. So what we need to do is get Chiang Mai Clean City, Khon Kaen Clean City, Krung Thep Clean City, and Korat Clean City as well. So if anyone's out there watching this, please connect with me and I'd love to work with them about starting up a group in their own city. But it's everyone, everywhere, just for 1 hour. We can all do it. It's easy.
Right. Thank you, Shane. Yes, move on to Kanji. Kanji, hello.
Hello.
Yes, Kanji. Yeah, tell us a little bit. What have you been involved in contributing, improving this environment?
If you know me already, I'm an avid believer in bicycle transportation.
Yes,
and
tell us about your bicycle life.
Everybody should bike, you know, if anybody knows me, they know that I don't own a motorcycle or a car or anything that, fossil fuel powered or anything like that. And I just ride bicycles all day. And if some people know that I had a bicycle community bike shop, and which will actually come back very soon. I have a new partner that wants to do it, and so we might be setting up a shop in Niman where people can come fix their bikes for free. And
tell us why you choose bicycle as your main transportation in Chiang Mai.
So I choose a bicycle because it's cheap and it makes you fit, and it shows it gives you a different perspective. Like, if it takes, like Shane said, if you pick up trash, right, you gain a new perspective. It's like cycling in the city, where if you cycle, you get a different experience where like you notice like, oh man, there's like there's more. I can smell smoke, because I'm outside the car and I can smell this stuff. I'm breathing in heavier. Or like I can notice the environment. I can see, I can smell things. I can say hi to my Mu Ping lady or whatever, and this is like you're more involved with your community, and you are more, if Shane walks everywhere, you can see he's always interacting with people, right? It's the same way if you cycle, you interact with people, and you're not shielded by, you're not inside a car where you're like kind of enclosed. You're interacting with your community. And that way, I think bicycle is a beautiful vehicle where you can, move fast somewhere, you can be fit, and, it's accessible, and people, I understand people see it as like, a poor man's vehicle, yeah, I understand. But the thing is why, I understand some people can't, have to do things with other means, but I know people can also live with the bicycle, like people who, just don't do that big of a commute can bicycle, but they don't see that yet, and so my goal is to make the everyday person that can use the bicycle as their viable mode of transportation, to open their eyes to that mode where they can use it, and that it's healthier, it's better, and there's reasons to do it. And because economically, I think it's good. But I understand that a lot of people, you know, I always ask people like, why don't you bike? You know, and I understand there's a lot of you know, arguments that, you know, people, you know, even if, you know, they're not silly or not, it's up to them, you know.
A whole lot of people is really afraid to ride bicycle because they think it's quite dangerous to be on road, especially in the city area. Is there anything you would like to wish for the rules upon the traffic to be in a way that they can support more bicycle?
My dream goal, and you know, we see like old pictures of Chiang Mai, you see a lot of rickshaws, you know, you see all the old guys today, and back in now, you know, you saw these old pictures of Chiang Mai back in the day in the 80s, you know, and you saw rickshaws and like all these people that were using bicycles, you know, there was heavy bicycle usage, and I feel that, you know, I want to bring that back, you know, and I feel that also because now that, you know, there's a lot of cars now, people, you know, people made it more, people are, you know, going where you want to, and I understand that, and but you know, but I want them to see that bicycle is another way out of this, and that you can do it, you know. And I understand it's hot, or you know, people are against it, it's dangerous, but you know, motorbikes are just as dangerous. If you look at the death toll of motorbikes, it's super dangerous, you know. You're going much faster, and you're going, some people don't wear helmets, you know, and this is, you know, if you crash on a bicycle, it's not as bad, you know, like, I mean, saying that nobody, if you're bicycle on bicycle, you know, and like the likelihood that you're going to get a few scratches, you know, but to say is that I want to see Chiang Mai become a bicycle city, you know, where people can bicycle and where pedestrians can walk and have better sidewalks, and that, you know, and they have the old city just for cycling, pedestrians, and, you know, tourists and electrical vehicles as a mode of inside the old city. That is my dream goal one day, you know, for that to happen, you know, that way you don't have to have cars in the old city and people just walk, and it can be like a Venice, you know, a super block in Spain, or, you know, certain places in Paris that are like this, you know. And that's what I dream of one day, like Amsterdam. We could be a spearheading city in Southeast Asia and could be a model, you know, like Shane said, Chiang Mai first, you know, but, you know, this could be an example. You know, we set an example, then other people can follow, you know, that if we can do it here, that means your city can do it too, you know.
I know, yeah. It's so, what is the word? I see that it works. I mean, like in a remote area within like 1.5 kilometers in the old city. It's such a cute little area to ride bicycle safely, isn't it?
I feel that it's a great place because, you know, the roads aren't equipped for 2 lanes, and you know, they don't, cars have to like stop, and then they have to park aside each other. They have to like reverse all the way out the soy to let another car go in. And it's very like, doesn't make any sense to have cars go into these like deep alleys. And I understand that people live there, you know, and people live there, and this is their choice, you know. And so it's not my place to tell them that this is the way, but I just want to show them that this doesn't make any sense, you know, and there could be a better way. You know, there could be some way we could do it, you know, but we need to work together with the community and make sure that they can see this, and we could make an example, you know. And so every day, you know, that's why I like started the bicycle delivery company and all this stuff back in the days, because I wanted somebody to see, you know, a different way. There's a different way you can do these things.
Well, all right. Thank you, Kachi. Keep up the good work. Come back to Paul. Yes,
Hi.
Paul. Yes,
Yes.
the same questions for you. Yeah.
Well, first of all, like I love what everyone's been saying, and Kari especially has learned so much that I feel I need to learn. She knows so much about things that I haven't looked into very seriously. But one thing that I have been doing is I've been translating John Jandai's books. So I've translated 3 of John Jandai's books. So, and yeah, obviously I would hope that his influence would spread more widely, because he's like his thinking is very challenging to the status quo of how society runs and thinks. Like it's very, very radical, but in such a, it's radical, but in such a gentle way, and in such a way that could help people to just live happier lives without stressing, without making it too difficult. If from Kanji, I got a bicycle from Kanji and then abandoned it. I'm a failed convert to bicycles a little bit, although I really loved it when there was, I enjoyed it when there was the mobike, those Chinese bicycles in the city. It's a shame that didn't really work out, and they, I think it just failed. The whole model failed. But I was using those a lot, and I really liked the idea that you could take sort of one-way bicycle journeys. Just the circumstances of my life, that was very useful, and I really enjoyed being able to use that kind of bicycle system. So I also hope that Chiang Mai becomes a bicycle city. But other things are, for example, now it's starting to become a thing to sort of convert, to have electric cars and bikes. And I've sort of made a pledge that I won't buy another combustion engine motorbike. I don't have a car, I have a motorbike. So when I replace it, I've been looking around, I'm going to sort of get an electric bike. And I've seen that people are starting to make those here. They're starting to convert existing motorbikes into electric bikes. There are kits that you can do it. I've met some people that are doing it here in Chiang Mai. I've also like to see there's more and more electric tuk-tuks and electric tuk-tuk conversions going on, and I hope that kind of thing takes off. I saw actually someone's created a sort of system, I don't think it works as well yet, but someone's created a system like Grab, where you can sort of call an electric tuk-tuk to come to your place. So I really hope that electric tuk-tuks take off, because I did speak to some of the people in the city government, the POA, Provincial Administrative Authority, about the transport. I felt like they should have been doing more to control red bus engines. I know it's politically difficult for them to just shut down the red bus system, and it's also perhaps not a good idea, because you have to take care of those people. There's a lot of people whose livelihood is totally connected to driving red buses, etc. But I do feel that the city government could have done a lot more to clean up those engines. For example, some of my friends, they bought old trucks, and this amount of smoke that came out of the back of them was terrible. And then they paid for there's a kind of upgrade. It's a little bit expensive. It's like 30 or 40,000 baht. But after they sort of installed a cleanup system on the engine, it's so much cheaper. That makes a big difference, a huge difference there, because it's been I did some research on this. A huge percentage of the pollution, the air pollution in the city, comes from a very small number of vehicles. So the worst polluting vehicles. So let's say the 1% worst polluting vehicles might produce 40% of the pollution. So it's not like all vehicles are polluting equally. So that's one thing that I was thinking about and sort of trying to suggest to the local government, that they should really, if they can't get rid of all the red buses in one go, they should just pay to clean up those engines. In my mind, it would be a very cheap way to reduce pollution in the short term, really quickly. Another thing is that me and Ganji and Bob from Northgate, we sort of tried to support the RTC city bus network when they came out. We went to the meeting, an early meeting when they were just coming online. And I think I heard that they were considering, I mean, before this whole COVID thing break out, I heard that they were considering replacing that network with electric buses.
Yes.
But I don't know what the timetable for that is. You know, that would be fantastic if they could do that, if that could happen. Another thing is, you know, the Save Chiang Mai from Burning group, like they have, I was wondering whether like something like the head top mushrooms should just be banned outright. But Ben told me that they're working with some communities and certifying head top from unburned forests. So they're trying to bring those mushrooms to market that are certified from unburned forest. That's so this is some kind of thing that can be promoted. We could like, you know, we could try and persuade all restaurants and whatever to only buy, you know, only buy this kind of mushroom from certified unburned forest, this kind of stuff. And recently also I was like trying to do a little bit of research into forest management. I've spoken before to like Pakaya and other indigenous groups, and they said that like for them, they feel they can protect the forests better when they have ownership rights or management rights of the forest. And I know this is a big issue, you know, when the government comes in and sort of says that only government agencies, national park agencies or forest rangers, etc., have the management rights of forests, then sometimes the indigenous groups, people living in the forest and living from the forest, they feel like they've lost their rights and ownership rights, management rights, and they're not able to protect the forests anymore. So, you know, from the point, sometimes people in the city feel like, oh, it's the people living in the mountains are burning the forest. But we also, you know, we've met people that are trying to like, we met, for example, at the event in the library, right? We talked to, I forgot his name, the musician. He was saying, you know, his community, they've children, kids, everybody had been fighting fires way up high. So I think that we should support all kind of efforts to forest management that help the people living in the forest, because they're there, you know, if they can help protect the forest and not just sort of big government agencies, I think that would be like that would make sense to me. And yeah, you know, I keep trying to do some of my research into like this kind of stuff. For example, like I'm not totally sure about whether pre-burning of forests is a good idea, because there's some studies that have been done here in Chiang Mai showing that there's some soil degradation from pre-burning, and they're sort of, I mean, it's something that's used in different places in the world. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But from what I can gather, it might not be the right strategy here. Because it seems to lead to more frequent fires, and it doesn't seem to like build up the soil quality.
Yeah, there's just still a whole lot of talking about the pre-burning thing. Yes, yes.
Oh, one last thing. Sorry, can I? One last thing.
Sure.
I know I was speaking to Lee from Akaama the other day, and I think they're going to start to. Soon they're going to start a project where they'll be growing vegetables in the city in a big plot of land in the JJ Market area. So I think there'd be some chance for volunteers to go along and I said, I would like to go along and help to like plant some vegetables there, because I really love the sort of gangster gardening idea. The Ron Finley from LA, the gangster gardener. I really love this kind of
yes.
This kind of thing.
There's already one project that started building a vegetable garden in downtown. It's by Chiang, a funeral area. Did you know about that? The Pak Khon Mueang.
No, I missed that. All right, okay, great.
It used to be a garbage landfill for a longest time, but there's a group of people led by the Chai Ban who asking the mayor to turn that area into a garden. It's a public place, so we can grow garden vegetable for ourselves.
I love this kind of idea. You know, I come from England, and England has this long history of a allotment system. You know, that at one point every family in the country was allocated a piece of land that they didn't own, but they had the right to garden on this piece of land.
Great. All right. Coming back, I think this could be like the last questions for all of us. Coming back to Corey. Corey, is there anything that you'd like to tell the viewer? I'm sure this is a whole lot of expats and English spokens and people who has interested in this environmental subject that we are talking about. Is there anything that you'd like to, your last words for the viewer?
Yes. I know what we can do for ourselves. I don't know what other people can do for other people. So there is a lot of expertise in the expat community. People, many of them have retired here. They have time, they have wisdom, they like to help, they don't know how. To do anything, any consultancy or work activities, we need a work permit, even for unpaid volunteer work. So Paul, better be careful. What can we do? If we would give advice, are people willing to listen? I am sure there are many people willing to help. I have a question for the Chiangmai Breathe Council. What can you do? What is your objective in this problem? Thank you.
Thank you. ขอบคุณค่ะ ขอบคุณค่ะ Corey. Move on to Shane. Hello.
Okay. I've got a whole bunch of different thoughts and other things like that, but I've been part of the expat club community for 3 or 4 years. And yes, like Corey was saying, there's a whole lot of people there with a whole lot of experience, and it'd be great for them to get involved. Unfortunately, most of them don't speak Thai, but they are still willing. They've got hands and feet that they'd like to use. And a lot of them also have various skills and hidden talents that they could get out and use if they're allowed to. So I'm very fortunate with the Chiangmai Clean City. I actually work for another foundation, but they allow me some time to work to do stuff with Clean City and that sort of thing. So it's it's something that people can help with and have not a problem with the work permit sort of situation, because it's just cleaning up. Anyone can clean up, anyone can pick up stuff. And I know that last year when there was the big burning season, we had three months of meetings at our general meeting every month, talking about people staying or going. And there was at least 20% of the people in the room, around 200 people, were saying that they were going to leave mostly because of the pollution. And then there was probably about 30% who were considering very greatly whether they should stay or whether they should go. So if that happened, I mean, Chiang Mai is pushing itself as being a medical tourism hub, and they already have a lot of retirees here who do need medical assistance more than most. So firstly, wouldn't it be good to keep the people who are actually living and who have chosen Chiang Mai to stay here, staying in Chiang Mai, than having to find more retirees? And like I was saying to someone yesterday, more people, you don't really know how many people are not going to choose Chiang Mai because they see, oh, there's a burning season. Oh, I have lung problems. I have restrictions in my lungs. So how can I go and live in Chiang Mai as a retirement destination, but I have these lung problems and I can't live there during burning season? So a lot of people have to have a second option. And instead of having a second option where they spend 3 months away from Chiang Mai. They actually spend 100% of time in Central America, in Vietnam, or in Spain and other places like that. So that's one of the really big challenges, along with visas and the Thai baht being very high. That they were the other two problems that kept retirees away. But one thing I really find difficult is in Thailand, everything's about reacting. And we have the burning season happening, and what we've got to do is react to what happens in the burning season. What we need to actually do is be proactive and stop having a burning season completely, because it's well known. Chiang Mai hits the top of the list every year during burning season for worst AQI in the world. And what I'd rather see Chiang Mai hitting the top of the list is for being the best destination for people to come and live. People, it used to be on top of the list for nomads coming and staying in Chiang Mai, but now it's not. And there's so many good things about Chiang Mai. And I also have another hat that I wear that I love promoting Chiang Mai, and I call myself the Chiang Mai ambassador. So it's very hard to be an ambassador when you look at the Chiang Mai being on the top of the world's worst AQI list. So it's very sad for me to see that. So
Exactly.
and yeah, it's not just the burning of the forest fires, but the crops as well. So what we need to be doing is working like in other places. If there's something that's going on with one particular company that's affecting an area of this a city or a state, actually bring that company in and say, hey, look, we've got to work some better ways of this. Your profit is coming at the expense of people's health, and if that company was then responsible for everyone's medical bills, I'm sure they would be looking at changing their ways of making their own profit. So maybe we need to look at some of the big companies, the fertilizer companies and pesticide companies, and say and crop growing and food production companies in Thailand, and get them to be actually accountable for what they're doing. And this year, as well as Chiang Mai being up on the pollution level, like I come from Australia, and Australia had forest fires and all that all over the country this past 6 months, and it was so dangerous. And 18 million hectares, which is about a third of the size of all of Thailand, was burned. So it's just crazy to see something like that, and just hard to understand how big the damage was. So what we need to do is, all come together and be more proactive about this. I hate seeing, I drive past Taipei Gate every day and I see 4 machines sitting at Taipei Gate supposedly cleaning the air, but there's no way something like that can clean the air. So if it was possible, protect the forests. Protect the forests like our lives depended on it. So Chiang Mai has a lot of army barracks in and around the city. So why couldn't they be doing exercises during December, January, February, and protecting the forest, making sure people entering the forest aren't carrying anything to start forest fires, and just doing some kind of exercises and other things. It would be good training for them, and work on creating fire breaks, cleaning up the undergrowth, and that sort of thing. So there's a whole lot of things that we can do, but just every year talking about it more and more is not helping the problem. Talking and talking and talking happens all over Facebook every day, but I'm more into get out and do things. So if you see my feed, you'll see me doing this, doing that, doing whatever around Chiang Mai, and I hope that it's making a difference. And I know that being proactive, we can actually reduce the problem greatly. So it's I'm very keen to keep working with the Chiang Mai Breathe Council, Save Chiang Mai from Burning, Thailand is burning, all these groups coming together and working together, because there's a lot of people out there doing things and bits and pieces in their own little way. But if we're a team and all together, we can make a much bigger difference. And yeah, I just hope that this problem, it's not going to go away without us actually doing something. So we have to get in and do something. So thank you very
Shane.
much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, Kanji, is there a last words you'd like to say to the audience? Kanji, you still there? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here. So yeah, I agree with Shane that, you know, we had to be proactive. We got to do something. We got to organize, strategize, and, you know, and I know that a lot of people are doing their own things their own way, you know. So I know that from my side, it's all about bicycles. And so, you know, if anybody wants to, whoever's out there that likes to bike, likes to do this, promote, like you and I, Bella, that likes to ride bicycles, like to promote this kind of way of life, or like, I know that me and Paul have been working on trying to get a way to people can change their motor vehicles to electrical ones, like get their motorcycles changed to electrical. And I know I wanted to work with like the mechanical engineering faculty in CMU, or with one of the professors to you know, make this happen. Because I know that Thammasat University also changes their students' motorbikes to electrical, and they offer that kind of program. And I was thinking that maybe CMU can do something like that, because I know that there are already electrical vehicles that are, you know, buses that take students around, where we can do this, make this happen in CMU. And you are also right next to CMU, so we could, if you have any contact or anybody watching, you know, that wants to see this happen and see this. And yeah, if anybody wants to join bicycle movement or like promote this or find a way, and you know, I know there's a lot of people like Chada, like you know, and all these people that I met that I never met before, but I met because of the Breath Council, that they share my view of bicycles. But because we came together, you know, we become stronger, you know. Exactly. And so the thing is important is that whoever has this view of the city that wants to change it to a more bicycle friendly city and change the mode of transportation, you know, such as like, you know, create incentives from like insurance companies to promote people who to bike to work and all this stuff. And if they're watching, I don't know who's available watching this, but you know, the important thing is that if you got a way, if there's a business that you want to support, you know, way by incentivizing cycling, incentivizing this green mode of transportation, you know, me, Paul, and you know, we're here to support you. And yeah, we're always working with this thing, which is green transportation and promoting cycling. And so, about to anybody listening, that, you know, we got to organize, strategize, and do this together. That's the way we're gonna change green transportation in Chiang Mai. That's all I gotta say.
Thank you. It's so nice to hear things like that coming from a young generation like you. So I can die peacefully. No,
I don't know about that.
Not yet.
Okay, Paul. It's your turn. Hello, Paul.
Hi, yes, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah, I'd like to just support the work that the Chiang Mai Breathe Council and, you know, Save Chiang Mai from Burning are doing. I think like the approach of working with communities farming communities, forest communities. That's the way. And also the approach of sort of making it a full-time, year-round thing, not just a burning season thing. I think that's great. And the more opportunities that organizations like this can offer, like regular people or other people to just get involved, whether it's going out into the forest, creating fire breaks, or community outreach, connecting with communities, or fundraising, or whatever it is, that's all great. I suppose for people in the city, it's also important to realize that even though you're not out there in the forests burning, you're still, you're living in the city, and we're a cause of a lot of pollution, with our traffic and with our consumption. So I think all of us have to think about what effect our consumption is having on, it's connected. Everything that we eat is all connected to the forests and to farms as well. That's all really, I definitely think it's just the main thing is that we keep working on this as a year-round issue and not forget about it during the rainy season. And
right, exactly. This is important. Yes. So, well, thank you, all of you. I couldn't help thinking about the lyrics of the song from John Lennon, Imagine. That one part he says that you may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. It's so nice to hear all of the inputs from all of you, especially for my guests, which is Corey, Kun Shane, and Kanji and Paul. Thank you so much. And it's you're setting such a great example for so many expats and foreign citizens who live in Chiangmai and continue to do so many things.
Is it possible to talk a little bit about what the Breathe Council is actually doing at the moment?
Good idea.
Just hold on just a minute. Oh, yes. I'm sorry, what did you say?
Is it possible to tell everyone what the Breathe Council is doing at the moment?
Yeah. At the moment, now that the burning season is already finished, we've got this sustainable period of time before the burning starts again. To doing about 3 things. Okay, planting more trees, firstly, and zero waste, and also green transportations. Yeah. So what all of you has been telling us is pretty much under this umbrella of the main 3 things that we're doing. But in the near future, which is on the 9th of this month, which is next Tuesday, yes, we are planting more trees around the bridges area of Nawarat Bridge and also Vaddhanaphuti Bridge. Yeah. This is the starting of one of the 15 days of planting those 900 trees. So you please invited to come and help us planting those trees. Okay. This is the site on the west side of the bank, just right across from the riverside. Yeah. Yeah. So we're quite excited about that. So please come and join us to plant more trees. And if there's anything else that you do,
I've actually I've actually cleaned up a few times along that section of. There's a lot of people who do spend their time relaxing in that area on the riverside, but they also forget to take their rubbish away with them. So I'm very happy to come down and join you there. And is there someone on the Breathe Council who is able to sort of share different events that are going on like this? Because my networks are quite wide around Chiang Mai, and what I like to do is tell people what's going on, and this type of activity would be something that a lot of expats would like to get into. And
you mean in English, right? Yeah.
English, yeah. And a lot of expats would like to join this type
we'll
of
look
activity.
into that. Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
because that they won't have any problems with work permits by just
Right.
digging a hole or planting a tree like that. So
Hope so.
many of them actually love gardening. So it'll be great to get as many people out there as we can. And at the moment, I know a lot of people are sick and tired of being inside, so they're ready to get out and do something.
And also every Sunday morning, I'm pretty much spending a lot of my time up on Rochfort planting more trees. And this coming Sunday at Wat Palat, we're going to be planting more banana trees along the waterfalls of Palat. Yeah. So if you can come and join us, that would be great. Yes.
Just send me a pin and I'll be there.
Yes. ขอบคุณค่ะ All right. I think yes, we're coming towards the end of the talk. I thank you all again for such great big contributions. I myself jot down so many notes that it's going to be useful for my work as far as working for the Breast Council to improving the environment, leaving a better world for our children. Yeah. All right. Thank you again. All right.
My pleasure.
See. ค่ะ สวัสดีค่ะ thank you ค่ะ see you all สวัสดีค่ะ
Bye.
Pick up.